Hey everyone. So, I didn't set out to start a blog. I didn't have a grand plan to write about healing, golf, or anything personal. I just wanted to feel like myself again. What follows is the story of how everything fell apart in my life and how I slowly began to rebuild, not just my health, but my sense of self. If you're going through something hard right now, or just trying to find your way back to what matters, maybe something in here will resonate. Either way, I'm glad you're here. Life is an interesting way of teaching you things. In 2017, I graduated from SMU with a digital advertising degree. I just moved to San Francisco to work in a sales position at Oracle. I was ready to sell some tech, enjoy the Bay Area, and adult in the real world. I was ready to take on the world. I'd made some great friends out there, and life seemed to just be falling into place. My plans were to work for a couple years in a tech position where I could learn about sales before applying to grad schools back in Chicago and ultimately end up in venture capital. I've always been an optimistic guy. I love being active and to travel, was family oriented, and thought I had my life planned out. But at the same time, my life still felt unfulfilling, and I didn't know why. For close to a decade, I had some health issues, migraines that persisted for over 9 months, vertigo, exhaustion, confusing, the list could go on. My freshman year of college, I actually saw 39 doctors, all of which said I was making up the symptoms or imagining it. And doctors couldn't pinpoint what was going on. And these symptoms would disappear for months, making me half think I was losing my mind, or that this was just how you felt in college. Then in the summer of 2018, I couldn't take it anymore. I'd gotten to the point where I was having trouble speaking. I couldn't remember simple things like the names of my family members. I was sleeping for close to 14 hours a day and was getting weaker each week. At this point, I realized something had to be wrong, and I wasn't crazy. I told my family what had been going on, and within 24 hours, I was scheduled to see some of the best docs in the Bay Area. I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease, chronic inflammatory response syndrome, mast cell activation syndrome, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and I believe I've racked up over 20 different diagnoses at this point. And undoubtedly, this put me in the lowest place I'd ever been physically and mentally. I was in excruciating pain from my nerve endings dying. It felt like a million needles poking into my skin. And my brain was so swollen in the areas that control memory, cognition, and emotions that I was unable to talk and could barely understand what was being said to me for months. Within the first 60 days, I had lost over 35 pounds and was in too much pain to move. And yet, this was the best thing that's ever happened to me. My whole life came to an abrupt standstill. I was no longer pushing forward. And when this happened, I struggled to find the positives. As I lost my ability to communicate, I was forced to sit with my own thoughts. While my body continued to fall apart, I realized there was more to me than just my body. I lay on the couch for months, and I found that what I had been striving for, what I'd been working toward, was not my life but someone else's. When I took the time to look through my life, I soon realized most of my decisions were made from a mindset of safety and protection of both my ego and my mind. I'd never made a decision that was dangerous for my future, that had a high chance of failure, or that would give me opportunities to learn from my mistakes. SMU, my major, and my job were all things that were relatively safe. So I began looking at my life from a new perspective. With it came the ability to make decisions driven by my passions, interests, and heart. I'd been an accomplished golfer growing up, but my talent hadn't amounted to anything special. I had the physical game, but my mind would crumble under pressure, and I never put in the proper hours to become the best I could be, thinking, what if I failed? I won the Illinois High School State Championship as a senior, but I decided not to play college golf because I said I wanted to experience SMU to the fullest. But that was a lie. I didn't play because I was scared. What if I didn't get better? What if I let my team down? How would others see me if I wasn't good at what I based my entire identity around? After discovering Buddhism, mindfulness, and gaining the courage to look at myself honestly, I began looking inward and truthfully answering these questions. The further I dug, the more I began to break away the chunks of clay I'd built up to protect myself and my ego. I was learning who I really was. And with that came a sense of relief. It's taken years to fully trust and be honest with myself on any shortcomings, but it has been the most liberating experience. In mid-2024, that honesty had me looking at my health through a clearer lens. I was getting worse year by year. By then, I was physically and emotionally worn down. I had exhausted my treatment options in the US, and most of what I had tried only led to more pain, more fatigue, and more fear. But I'd heard about a clinic in Germany that treated some of the things I was up against. So I packed a suitcase for Bavaria, and what was supposed to be 6 weeks turned into 6 months in a German hospital. Day in, day out, I went through experimental treatments. Some helped, others didn't. But more than anything, what it gave me was time. Time to step back, reflect, and ask what I still believed was possible for my life. And that's when I started doing deeper subconscious work, looking at the beliefs I'd been carrying without realizing it. Not just about illness, but about identity. About what I thought I was allowed to want. About what I thought I was capable of. I started seeing how much of my life had been shaped by fear, and slowly began rewiring the story from the inside out. I started writing again. I started doing daily rounds of subconscious rewiring, not to escape my reality, but to retrain how I respond to it. That became the real work. Cultivating hope as a skill, emotional strength, and a deeper connection to who I want to become. Golf used to feel far away. Now it's what I'm leaning into. I've had to restart after every new wave of treatments. My swing changes, my body changes, my energy changes, but my inner drive hasn't. I've had to rebuild everything from the ground up more times than I can count. But I keep coming back because I believe in this vision of mine, and this version of me that keeps getting back up when it seems like nothing's going my way. I would never wish this pain or disease on anyone else. But I hope that by writing about my struggles, failures, and lessons learned, I can help at least one person gain a deeper understanding, appreciation, and love for themselves. I don't regret any of the choices I've made or the path I've taken, because it has all led me to this moment and this place in the universe. I couldn't have done any of this without the support of my family, friends, and the community around me. And I'm grateful every day for how you've helped me. And all I can do is I hope I can repay your love and kindness, and then some. I created Your Golden Buddha because I don't think we need to fix ourselves. We just need to remember who we are underneath it all. That's the work I'm doing every day, through writing, rewiring, and returning to what I love. If any part of this story made you feel seen or reminded you of your own strength, I'd love to stay connected. This isn't about healing. It's about becoming the version of you are proud to return home to. And you're not alone in this. Thank you guys. I hope to see you around.